Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. One of the questions I get asked all the time during the offseason is, Boogie, can Tennessee beat Georgia? And I always fire back, can they beat Georgia? Absolutely. Will they beat Georgia? I don't know. And the reason I get asked this question is probably because of this right here. This exact moment is why you guys always want to know about Georgia.
I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that, no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none.
I mean, that's a moment in history. I'm proud of that statement. I'm not even going to take it back. I'm not even going to walk it back. I'm going to just roll with it. Well, let's take a look. This is from the ESPN FBI. This is an article from VAWLS 247. And then I want to get a little bit more in-depth with it. You can see here, Tennessee's chances, according to the ESPN FBI, 22.3%. Now, this game is late in the season. VAWLS 247 says another game Tennessee will have circled. It's circled on my calendar every single season. You guys jump into the comment section. Let me know which game you have circled. I know a lot of you hate Alabama. A lot of you hate Florida. We all hate some of these teams in the SEC, some of these rivals. Georgia's probably at the top of my list. Some of you guys, including myself, have South Carolina circled on the schedule this year, but this Georgia game definitely scheduled. Says, but how much is on the line obviously depends on how the Vols navigate their first 10 games. Perhaps the SEC East title will be on the line. That stadium is going to be electric if the SEC East is on the line. Then it goes on to say maybe Tennessee is playing a spoiler. It says Georgia's schedule is a total stroll, which means one, the Vols probably can lose just one in SEC play to still have the division at stake in the game. And two, even if the Bulldogs might not take them out of the CFP contention, if a Vols win isn't the one knocking them out of Atlanta. Georgia's only two road games before this one are Auburn and Vanderbilt. The FBI gives the Bulldogs a better than 90% chance of winning every game but three. That's against Tennessee, also Ole Miss, and also against Florida. So can Tennessee beat Georgia? Absolutely. Will they? Time will tell. I would not bet my life savings on it, but we're going to get into it. I'm going to take a listen to what J.D. Pickell had to say about this matchup, because right after you guys asked me this question, J.D. Pickell puts out a video, who can beat Georgia? Spends a couple of minutes talking about Tennessee, so we're going to take a listen to that. But as always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It is quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel. I would appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not talking at you. We're talking with you. We are building a community of Tennessee fans right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. So if you like it, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Had a fun stream last night with Coach Jay, breaking down the film George McIntyre versus Deuce Knight, two of the best quarterbacks in the class of 25. Really, really good stuff. If you missed it, go back and check it out next week, next Thursday, June the 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Sports Talk Jay is going to be in the house. I know a lot of you guys are going to dig that conversation as well. So make sure you subscribe, dialed in, so you don't miss out on all this fun content. Let's jump into it. Let's take a listen to J.D. Pickell talking about who has the best chance of beating the Georgia Bulldogs in 2023.
Now, the last one on the regular season is one that all of the good folks in Athens have circled, and a lot of people in the volunteers, they have it circled as well, because the second to last week of the season, the Dogs go to Neyland Stadium. The place will be rocking, especially if Tennessee is able to trend the way that a lot of people believe they could trend up to that point.
I think that is the biggest key. We all keep saying it. I even keep saying it, that the stadium's going to be electric. The atmosphere in Neyland is going to be unmatched on November the 18th. Tennessee's got to go on the road and play Florida. They've got a big-time rematch with South Carolina. That game circled on the calendar. What does Texas A&M look like? They got to go on the road and play Alabama. Got to go on the road and play Kentucky. Tennessee's got a lot of work to do before they roll into that game against Georgia on November the 18th. Is the stadium going to be electric, or is it going to be deflated? Again, we're talking about expectations. Had the fun conversation last night, had it on Twitter in the DMs talking about battered ball syndrome. It's a real thing. Which Joe Milton are we going to get? Are we going to get the guy that showed up in the Orange Bowl? Are we going to get the guy that looked solid all last year in mop-up duty? Or are we going to get the guy that lost the starting job to Hendon Hooker? There's so much pressure on Joe Milton and this offensive line. So will Neyland be electric on November the 18th?
It could be a game that decides that side of the SEC. Last year, Jalen Hyatt and Hendon Hooker had a couple of shots in this game that they almost connected on, but almost just means they didn't connect on them. And a lot of Tennessee fans will tell you if they connect on just one of those, I think it was like 2 or 3 they took deep to Jalen Hyatt, they didn't hit on. If they connect on one of those, it might change the ball game, and it might put Georgia a little bit on their heels early.
Ifs, ands, and buts. But what he says is right. Tennessee did take a couple of shots early, and they missed. What happens if they connect? What does Georgia do? How does Georgia respond? On the flip side, Georgia fans are going to be flooded in this comment section saying that this game wasn't close. It was an absolute blowout. We took our foot off the gas. Everybody's got excuses. We as Tennessee fans have excuses. The Georgia fans have excuses. Talk about it being a blowout. The score was 27-13. Georgia only rushed for 130 yards. Sure, I'll hear it. I'll hear all the comments from the Georgia fans. It was domination. We would have beat you by 42, but we took our foot off the gas. The rain, the excuses, yada, yada, yada. Don't care. Doesn't matter. The game's over. We're looking ahead to 2023. Tennessee's going to have to take their shots. That's what this offense does. They want to stretch you out. They want to hit you over the top. I think the big difference in the football game last year, Tennessee could not run the football. I don't think it has anything to do with missing those shots early. I think it's just simply got dominated at the line of scrimmage by the Georgia defensive line. Can they respond? Because we still have question marks on the offensive line. Look, Josh Heupel's going right back into the portal after Andrej Carrot comes in because he's still not satisfied with his play at the offensive guard position. Can Tennessee hold up with Georgia in the trenches? I think they're going to have a shot to make some plays on the outside. They're going to have a shot to take Georgia deep. I truly believe they can do that, but you've got to be able to run the football. That's my biggest concern going into this game in 2023.
Now, of course, it was in Athens. Place was rocking. They go to Neyland this year. And Neyland, not an easy place to play. So for Georgia, the same thing is true of what happened last year has to happen this year. You got to win one-on-one on the outside. And Tennessee, even though you lose Jalen Hyatt, even though you lose Cedric Tillman, I'm still very high on their receiving core. Brew McCoy is going to be physical with you. Squirrel White, 23 miles per hour on the catapult. Translation, dude is fast, speeding in a school zone. Dante Thornton, transfer from Oregon, I think is going to just have an elite season for Tennessee. I would not be surprised at all if Dante Thornton has the best season of the entire Tennessee wide receiving core. I'll just say.
Come on now. Where have you guys heard that? Where'd you guys hear that when Dante Thornton entered the portal and Boogie had him up here as a priority? Go get that guy. He's a playmaker. The size, the height, the length, the speed. He is a matchup nightmare. You put him out there. Squirrel White. I'm going on record. This wide receiver group is going to be better than they were a year ago. And that's coming off of a Bolitnikoff award for Jalen Hyatt. That's coming off of dominant record-breaking numbers for Jalen Hyatt. This wide receiver room, in my opinion, is going to be better in 2023. Excuse me. We didn't even mention Ramel Keaton there. Ramel Keaton's not going to go down without a fight. Ramel Keaton wants to get out there on the football field. What's the rotation look like? We know Josh Heupel likes to rotate 3 guys. Does Ramel Keaton find his way into that rotation? Are we going to play more wide receivers? But I think Dante Thornton is going to be a game changer. He's going to be just like Jalen Hyatt, a guy that you can roll out there, move around, outside, inside, create mismatches, and go score points. J.D. Piquel brings up a good point here about who shut down Jalen Hyatt last year. Does Georgia have somebody on that roster that can shut down Dante Thornton or Squirrel White?
Say it right now. He may lead the team in receiving. Unique blend of speed and size, so he's tough to match up with. Also for Georgia now, I'm not down on any of their secondary, but I will say Keely Ringo did a really good job one-on-one last year in this game. Who is it this year? Is it Malachi Starks? Probably. But I'm just saying, keep an eye on that for Georgia and for Tennessee. The one-on-one battle, Tennessee's going to spread you out. They're going to have a chance to take some of those shots. It's going to require Georgia to be disciplined, and that's Georgia's middle name. But still, keep an eye on that one. Of all these games, I like this one the best because it's at Neyland.
So that's thoughts from J.D. Piquel. Likes Tennessee's shot better than anybody else on Georgia's schedule to go and get it done. And look, you can talk about who's there and who's not. Stetson Bennett, no longer a part of this football team. You can't be one of those guys that insults Stetson Bennett and says that he wasn't a very good football player and then back that up and say, well, Stetson Bennett's gone. Tennessee's going to have an opportunity. Look, plug and play. They recruit 5-star after 5-star after 5-star. 2020, number 1 recruiting class. 2021, third. 2022, third. Last year, recruiting cycle, second. This roster is loaded. It's stacked. They plug and play. Tennessee's going to have their hands full when Georgia comes to town. And I agree with what J.D. McKill says there. Tennessee has to – they've got to be able to connect on some of those deep shots if they're going to have an opportunity. But that gives them an opportunity. If you're going to go out there and whip Georgia, you better be able to run the football. I know this offense is dynamic. It's fun to watch, but it comes down to running the football. And if they can't do that, it's going to be a long night in Neyland Stadium. What do you guys think? Can Tennessee beat Georgia, or will they beat Georgia? What are the key factors to you? Running the football, stretching the field, throwing it deep. What do you think Tennessee has to do to beat Georgia in 2023? Look, I know it's June. We got a long way to go, but this is a fun conversation. You guys ask me all the time. J.D. McKill was talking about it, so I thought it would be fun to jump on here and mention it. As always, guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I want to give a shout out to all the members of the channel. You guys keep this thing rolling. If you're not a member, make sure you hit that join button down below. It's only $1 a month. If you enjoy the content, you enjoy the videos, you enjoy the live streams, make sure you become a member and support this channel so we can keep this thing rolling. Again, just $1 a month. You get access to custom Talkin' VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of perks and benefits. You get a power T beside your name in the chat and in the comment section to let everybody know that you're a VFL. Also, go check out the merch, bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. As always, the links are in the description below, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you don't have the money to support, you can't hit that thanks button down below. You can't join the channel. You can't afford a shirt. That's cool. Just hit the thumbs up because that's quick, free, and easy. Jump into the comment section and let's talk a little Tennessee football because this is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.